Hello, everyone. This is Tom, your host for the Hidden Truths channel. How's everybody doing this evening? I hope you're doing well. Tonight's going to be kind of a free-for-all. If you're in the chat, bring up a subject. We'll talk about it. And then I got my stuff I want to talk about. And one is going to be immigration and, the normal problems we're having in this country. Because I tell you what, some people are just thinking weird in this country. Say, if you can support somebody who is a criminal in this country, is lowering your standard of living, costing you money, and you want to support that, okay, that's not Americans. By the way, we're going to discuss that after what I've heard. So anyway, but I'm waiting for a few people to show up. Let's discuss, well, guess what? We're bombing Nicaragua, Nigeria now. Yep. Who saw that coming? That wasn't even on the radar for anybody, I guarantee it, unless you were in the know. Going after ISIS. Didn't we just win the war on terror? Didn't Trump have the Syrian leader that is now in the White House with honors, who is a terrorist leader, or was once a terrorist leader? I guess he's a good guy now. Didn't we win that war? So they're going headhunting all over the world. Something to distract from the big problem of this that he's dealing with, right? I mean, I went on last night saying that with this Epstein list, he's either going to resign by the first, or he's going to start a war, start a military action. And God, I was just got off my live stream, and there it is. I get the news that he bombed Nigeria. I mean, are you kidding me? Can't we use diplomatic? Aren't we going to use our diplomats no more? It's Nigeria, for crying out loud. Let's see, now we got wars against Africa, that continent. Now we got wars on South America, that continent. And Europe, we don't need to even talk about that continent. And then what's going on in Taiwan, that continent. Okay, there's Asia, Europe, South America, Africa. And I'll even put North America in there too, because you got to admit, hey, Audrey, how's it going? Great to see you. But, we got war on all these continents. We're not talking just two, 3, 4 front war, 5 front war. We're talking, we just add Australia and Antarctic to it, and we got all the continents covered. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I'm so sick of this war, these wars and stuff. And then on Christmas, peace and goodwill to men. And people can say, well, they wouldn't show that to Americans. It doesn't freaking matter. We're Americans, okay? Bombing them on Christmas. That was just something that I know didn't make a lot of Christians happy, okay? But, okay, let's get into the subject. I got a few people here. With the immigration, okay. Now with the Epstein files coming out and it's implicating Trump and stuff, and the left is forgetting that's implicating their people too. They're all happy that Trump's got this pressure on him, hoping he's going to have to resign, right? But, the thing is, the videos I'm seeing, they're talking about that, him having to resign, not because he's breaking the law with a pedophilia ring. No. He don't need to resign because of that. He needs to resign because he's doing something legally by getting rid of the illegals in this country. That's why he needs to be ousted. I don't get these people. For one thing, all you people become victims of these illegals. That's one thing. You want illegals here? You can't defend yourself against them. Us people that don't want them here, we don't have a problem defending ourselves against them. But anyway, why don't you go rent a 10 passenger van? Do it the legal way. Sponsor them. Bring them back to your place. Fill your bedroom. Your spare bedroom up right next to your daughter's bedroom. Put them out, in the guest house and stuff. Become responsible for them. Pay all that money so they can come here the right way instead of expecting, all these grand ideas that these compassionate people have. that, the working man's supposed to pay for. You don't think that the working man doesn't like being compassionate? Of course he does. He's still able to feel compassion even when nobody's feeling compassion towards the working people, men and women. Who shows compassion for you guys that are busting your ass every day, doing your little part to make sure this country still runs? And like I say, these illegals, all they do is lower our standard of living, cost us money. I mean, all that money was spent on illegals. $300 a night for a hotel room. Are you kidding me? Well, our vets, homeless vets, stayed out in the cold. I'm just sick of these people. How can you sit there and say they're not immigrants? They're invaders. Okay? You always want to say this country was built by immigrants. Yeah. Immigrants what? Immigrants that want to be Americans, want to assimilate to our culture and become Americans, learn our language because they knew it would help. They did everything they could to become Americans. But I figured it out. If you have to put a noun, if you want to say you're an American, but you got to put a noun before that word American, like African American, whatever. If you got to put a noun before the word American, you're not an American. Now, if you put an adjective before the word American, like loyal American, hardworking American, you know what I'm saying? Then that makes you an American. So if you use a noun to describe how you are an American, you're not a fucking American. You're still trying to come to this country and take over your own little part of it and turn it into your country, just like they did in Dearborn, Michigan, just like they've done in Minnesota. Yeah, I had to get out of that state. Crazy ass state. My grandpa is an illegal. Well, then he needs to leave. He's a criminal. Okay? That's just the way it is. How can anybody want to sit there and try to prosper in a nation when the first thing that you're allowed to do is break the law, get some money? See, this is the thing too, all you illegals. See, you're going to leave one way or the other. If our government don't do it, we're finally going to do it. But Trump is offering you $3,000 and a fucking free plane ticket. Take it. That's the easy way. You got money in your pocket when you came here. You get money in your pocket when you leave. Okay, probably where that came from, that's probably a year's worth of surviving. Okay? Or you can do it the hard way. Be labeled as a criminal and be flown out from a detention center. See, in America, you still got the freedom of choice. You guys are leaving irregardless. You just got to choose whether you want to do it the easy way or the hard way. God dang. But if he would just sit there and put a bounty, $1,000 bounty on all their heads and authorize all American citizens to round up the illegals in your immediate area, can't go outside your area, just in your immediate area, call them, boom, come pick them up. You get $1,000 per head. And then you get a receipt too. So when they sit there, the Democrats try to go drive around the block and let them off on the other side of the block. I got the receipt saying these people should have left. We got to enforce our laws, people. This isn't being non-compassionate. What do you mean? I mean, let me tell you, if you invade somebody's home, if you were to sit there and go into somebody's house and just squat, okay, and expect them to be compassionate of your needs, plus supply them, go to work so they can supply them and stuff. Is that the way the world works? Or would you sit there and make them leave forcefully and call the cops? Okay, there's a way to fix this. But the American people, like I said, if the government won't do it, it's charged to us to do it. And that's just the way it is. We don't, pay our government to sit there and do its job. But if the government won't do its job, then we got to do it. How many times do you have at work where a job didn't get done because nobody would do it, and you just finally had to go do it? Or you're just that type of worker where you just sit there and take all the shit jobs nobody wants to do. Reported for promoting violence. Good evening. Reported for, I don't know what it is. Somebody reported me. You don't think YouTube doesn't know about me? I mean, are you fucking kidding me? See, this is the thing. You got to watch what you say in today's world because you may offend somebody. Fuck you. I'm a goddamn Marine. I don't watch my mouth, especially a bunch of limp dick pieces of shit. Spreading violence? You mean enforcing the law is spreading violence? You know, if, like I say, if our government doesn't want to enforce the law, it's up to us to do it. That's just the way it is. But, you know, all you people that support illegal invaders in this country, leave with them. Don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out. Bye-bye. Why don't you go take all your wealth and everything and just move the fuck down there, wherever country they're from. You know, Haiti, whatever, go there. You want to do some good? Go where? Go into the pit of the lions to do something good. Anyway, but yeah, that's why these Democrats, I mean, I hear them all the time. Trump needs to be, not because of the, needs to be impeached, not because of the Epstein list, not because he may have been part of a pedophile child ring. No. That shit's okay to him. It's because of the way he's enforcing the law in this country. You know, the thing is, Trump too, you want to enforce fucking law? How about arresting everybody every president and administration that let these freaking illegals in? You know, just because Biden got on and said, hey, we need a bunch of illegals up here. Start your caravan. And it's amazing. These caravans travel thousands of miles in a couple fucking weeks. And they all came back to the border. They're all clean, nice clothes, wearing more jewelry than worth more than most of us make in a year and shit, coming over for handouts and stuff, and then claiming asylum and shit. I mean, I'm so sick of these people. Well, they entered legally. No, they didn't. You know, you used to have to land a MiG-29, a MiG fighter, or, I don't know, give up something that we wanted to our government to get asylum. You had to land your MiG fighter on one of our runways and get out and say, I want asylum. Not just because you don't like the country you live in. You know what? Do what our country did. Start a revolution and get your fucking country back. Okay, like I say, these are the people these immigrants that the liberals call them, these are the people that sit there and come and invade our country. Like I say, look at Minnesota and Dearborn, Michigan. Oh, Audrey, too, I hear you're getting a snowstorm. I tell you what, you poor people on the East Coast, man, you're getting hammered this year. And I'm sitting out here riding horse. I tried to make a video today riding horse. I actually make the video, but it's a little too windy, so it didn't come out. I got to get one of those mics that cut out the wind. But anyway, yeah, riding horse again. It's crazy. Anyway. So true, Pat. Thanks for the advice. I never considered that. I didn't see the advice. Get a new job. You know, but according to Trump, Americans aren't capable of doing entry-level jobs anymore. I'm just sick of the whole foreigners in this country, whether they're here legally or illegally. I'm tired of them fucking being here. I'm just tired of it. Okay, I've worked with the H-1B visa workers in agriculture. Yeah, white American gets screwed. And now they're so bad that as a white American, you can't even get a job in agriculture on these big places because all they hire is H-1B visa workers. I'm prepared. I went out today for milk. You may need a little bit more than that. I'm sure you're sarcastic, and I'm sure you got a pantry full. I would bet any money. That sounds like a sarcastic joke. Like, yeah, I had to go out and get milk to be prepared. Yeah, you know, the thing is, if you're not prepared, and all the people that have laughed at us through the years because, oh, that's never going to happen. That can never happen in the United States and stuff. We're starting wars all over the fucking world. Okay? And if we think that Mexico and the United States and Canada isn't going to be bombed like the rest of the world, you're out of your mind. Okay? We don't have oceans protecting us no more. I'm a prepper like you. Yep, exactly, Audrey. And, 2026 could be a rough year. But see, you live in Boston, right? You got your preps. And all of a sudden, you got military checkpoints on every way to get out of the city. And they start going through people and seeing what they got for extra supplies that they don't need. And they start taking them. I tell you what, Audrey, you talked about getting out of Boston. You need to do it. You need to do it. I tell you what, next year when you start seeing me in my videos ride my horse out in the mountains, like I said, I want to get out while I still can. I really wish people would sit there and wake up and, want to fight this, but, I can't fight it myself. I've seen way too many foreigners work jobs that high school graduates should be working. Yeah, any of them. If we even got one person in this country that doesn't have a job because we don't have enough jobs for them, the last thing one person, no foreigners, we got more jobs than Americans can get filled, then we can break in the H-1B visa workers, but not till then. And if you're too lazy to work, too fucking bad. All these people want a communist country, right? They think they're going to get freebies. See, they don't understand that in a communist country, everybody will have a job. And if you're 10 minutes late for work, that's a year in the gulag because we need to re-educate you and shit. Yeah, that's what true communism brings. Anyway, yeah, great thing. I'm just, like I say, Trump if what's ever going on with the Epstein list, when truth comes out, who's ever attached to it all over the world needs to be arrested and punished for what they've done. And, but that's why he needs to go, Democrats, not because he's enforcing the law, okay? And if you morons would stop trying, if you help somebody hide them or help them in any way to avoid the authorities, that's a crime. How come we're not charging these people? How come? Like I say, what Americans allowed to get away with any crime? Out here, we don't have any cops. Well, nobody breaks the law out here. We don't need any freaking cops. 4 cops in the whole county. 3 county mounties and the sheriff. And then a state trooper, he don't even live in this county, that takes care of three of the counties. That's all we got. And we don't have any crime. I don't hear sirens. Unless it's the fire trucks or ambulance going out. And I don't live in town, so I don't hear that anyway. Like I say, leave it to Beaverland, people. And we ain't going to allow none of this goofy shit in here. Unlike Minnesota, the small town area I grew up in, that's just been taken over by Somalians. No, that's not going to be allowed out here. That's one thing great about the United States. If you don't like the state you're living in, that's why the federal government should be in charge of all the states, because every state should have its own mindset, as long as they follow the Constitution. People respect people's rights. But, if you don't like it where it's at because, you feel the government's infringing on you and the courts won't do nothing about it, well, you can move to another state where you're free, where you're freer. Okay. And, I found a good fit here in Nebraska, but like I say, I can see what's coming, people. Silver is almost $80. When I came on, silver was only 40 cents away from $80 an ounce. It was 75 last night. $5 in one day. Gold seems to be just hanging under that $4,600. Okay. So let's say gold's hit its peak. Silver isn't even close yet. But like I say, this country can't survive on $4,500 or $5,000 gold or $100 an ounce silver. We can't do it because, like I say, eventually everything else, you talk about inflation, everything else is going to start climbing up to where it should be to be matched with that gold and silver. Hey, Sonny. Hold on, buddy. Hold on, buddy. There, Sonny, I got you as a moderator. I didn't see you in there. I don't see some of these messages. What the hell? I don't see some of. I lost it. What's up? War is stupid. How defending your country makes you brainwashed, or not quite. I look at all as a badge of honor and have high respect for all who serve. Yeah, but see, like I say, when I got my DD 214 in my honorable, and then when I got my honorable discharge, I thought my time was over. Boy, was I stupid. But who else is going to do it? Who else is qualified to take our country back? Us vets? Even the patriots, I don't care how fucking motivated you are. You're going to have to be trained correctly. Because you can be as motivated as fuck, not know what you're doing, and get your whole fucking squad killed. Okay? But who else is going to do it? The people who have the knowledge and the experience and the training to do it. That's who needs to do it. Especially we got millions of me out here. I'm a dime a dozen. I may get on YouTube because a lot of the vets ain't out there, but I'm a dime a dozen. Okay? We got all these homeless vets. What better than to give them a purpose, a uniform, a haircut, and a uniform, and a purpose? We can fix the country then. Like I say, I'd rather have a division of vets that have been homeless because I know they ain't going to be whining, crying, and complaining when things get tough. Anyway, I got Google in here. I tell you what. I tell you, Sonny, my channel has grown even with the fucking brakes on and the tires are back and the tires are smoking and stuff. I'm still moving forward. And I've never got a strike on this channel. I mean, I got monetized in a year. Got enough so I could get monetized in a year. But that was after I lost Lone Wolf Prepper, after being on that for a year. But like I say, you're a content creator. You can tell what they don't like to hear. Okay? And they say the algorithm. Oh, it's the algorithm. They just got to know if you're human. I mean, computer algorithm doesn't know I'm human. Or they got to know what you're who to put your material in front of. I mean, not after watching a couple of my videos, you don't know who my audience is. I mean, they're supposed to be so fucking smart. No, it's all about censorship and control. That's why I sat there and made a video about how to be a YouTube creator. Do what you're passionate about on YouTube and never quit no matter what the analytics say. I mean, this next month I'll be going over 1 million views. 1 million views. That's just what they say I have. That doesn't count the 200,000 views that they took away from me. So they want to sit there and make it sound like my channel, people don't like it. That's bullshit. I know they do. I mean, when I first started these live streams like this with the vertical live feed, one live stream I had where it was doing people that the viewer count, and it was saying it exceeded the amount of viewers I was allowed to have. Yeah, blue toggle came up. It was crazy. I mean, I had one live stream where I got 78 subscribers in one live stream. And you telling me, and that was when I got 22,000 views in 1 hour. Now you telling me that nobody wants to hear this? Of course they do. You go to TikTok, whatever social media, and see people are fucking pissed. The average worker has had enough. Especially with Trump saying, oh, things are doing great. I was talking to the lady, I think she manages the Dollar General or whatever, and we were talking about Trump's speech. And I said, you're one person that definitely knows prices aren't going down. They stock the shelves every time. Why do the price still keep going up if they keep going down? I mean, this is the thing. Mr. Trump. You're blowing smoke up to people's ass, and our asses are full. We deal with life every day, okay? Kind of like Eddie Murphy in Trading Places. Okay, we're the guy on the street that actually knows what's going on. We ain't blinded by bias of fucking money and shit. Anyway, yeah, you can just look at videos. People that are upset about a lot of things. Working men and women that are going to work every day, making videos on their way to work. Why are we doing this? We're not getting away. I'm not doing this for another 50 years because the people that are in their 20s and 30s realize they will never get to retire, ever. Not like the dream we had. Silver, 79. I know it was 79 and 60 last time the top high was 79.70, but it was at 79.60 when I looked. Yeah, it's beyond crazy. And then you hear these channels, well, that's not going to affect the American economy. Are you kidding me? Like I say, eventually the credit markets are going to freeze up. You talk about somebody hitting the brakes on the economy real quick, okay? Like when the government took over the repo market in the, was it November or October, whatever, of 2019, because banks wouldn't lend to each other no more overnight. So the government took over it. And then we had, the scare for a couple of years. Okay. Anyway, I know I am financially helping my 35-year-old son and his wife. Yeah. I mean, your kids have to help them out. It's crazy how much money you have to make. I mean, I live in where I can, okay, I don't, like I said, I told you before, I don't have no bills or credit card loans, no credit cards, no type of loan whatsoever. I got my rent and my electric, which is under $800 a month, and my cell phone bill and my vehicle insurance, which is extremely cheap. So I can live on, $1,500 a month real easy. That don't even pay people's half their rent in these big cities. I mean, $3,000-$4,000 in rent. How can you not afford a house if you're paying $4,000 a month in rent? That's a $400,000 house. All the money they got to make that just goes into this hand, to this hand, over to the next person. All that cash. Like I say, I took my shit myself out of that. And that's why they want to keep everybody in debt. Because it keeps them at their job. And when people are worried about their job and how they have to pay the bills, they're not thinking about how to settle the issue. They're extremely preoccupied, especially if you have kids at home. China, number one. You know what? China, before it comes number one, all the number ones, the U.S. thinks it's number one, China thinks it's number one, Russia thinks it's number one. You know where you're all going to be equal? Where everybody's equal, at the fucking bottom, after you guys get done nuking the shit out of each other. There's no superpower that's going to take over another superpower. Once a country has nukes, especially the arsenals that China, Russia, we have, you're guaranteed never to be taken over by a foreign country. Ever. Ever. Okay? Because we'll end the world before that happens. Anyway, but you want to think differently, just could be conventional? Yep, World War II was a nuclear war. Oh, yeah, we forget that, don't we? Anyway, why you skip my question? I didn't troll. I didn't see your question, sir. No allies, no dollar system. It's much easier to work with friends, I hear you. What was the question? Taffinism, Mo. What was the question? I don't watch chat much. I'm sorry. I get going, rambling on. Like I say, I'm one of the only people, I think, that can sit there without notes. I'll write it again. Yeah, write it again. I'll answer it. Don't have notes. And I can sit there and talk for 2 hours. That's how screwed up things are. Don't worry. It's getting better. Anyway, you didn't see it either? Anyway, but yeah, that's what this is. Friday night hangout. Ask questions. Anybody have anything else that they want me to the subject they want me to discuss about what's happened this week? Okay, with all the redactions and stuff. I mean, they sit there with these Epstein files. Okay, they have been jerking our chains for so long that they don't think that we're kin to what the fuck's going on. I mean, even if they redacted one word out of all them pages, one name, even one word, they would be hiding something. Okay? But we will know the truth one day when we take our country back. But, maybe that was the one I had. He was probably the one. Yeah, he was the one that had the message deleted by Google. That's why I didn't see it. It said message deleted by Google. So he'll have to write it again. He must have left. I don't see him there. Anyway, so that's my deal on the immigration. I'm sick of this. I heard they found 1 million more pages in the last few days. Yeah, found them. He got arrested 6.5 years ago or 5.5 years ago, whatever, back in 2019, he got arrested. They're still finding shit? See, I'm not playing stupid no more. Like I say, Audrey, remember when your kids used to come to you and they'll lie their asses off to you and you knew they were lying and you called them on it? Okay, that's what this is. But, got a lot of parents, I guess, wards of the government that don't care. They're not going to listen to it. Anyway, so, Tefan, I heard you directly with Canada and GL, not NATO, hasn't been our best friendly recently. I do agree with North America. We could work together up here. Well, if we don't work together, the U.S. is going to have Chinese troops on our northern border. No, not only troops. Okay. Let's look at it as we're Ukraine. And China decides to stick their hardware, their offensive weapons and stuff, along with tanks and stuff, give it all to the Canadians and stuff, offensive weapons, long-range and stuff. And then Russia decided to give the Mexican military the same thing. No troops, just all the hardware they need, long-range missiles, tanks, you name it, training, intelligence, the whole works. Do you think we would like that? This is what we're doing to Russia. And if Russia stands up for themselves, we don't like this, they're the bad ones. So we'd be the bad ones if this country wouldn't know what to do if we had to live in a situation like that. But believe me, with the leadership we have, with both parties, it doesn't matter. We're going to have it. Eventually, you're going to have to fight for your survival in this country. You people in the big city, you're already fighting for your survival. I mean, you guys already have. I guarantee you don't walk down the streets feeling as free or not free, as safe as you did even 2 years ago, do you? Do you? It's a slippery slope we are on. Very slippery. But see, that's why we have the Constitution. The Constitution is not a slippery slope. The Constitution is black and white, easy English, easy to understand. Like I say, when they wrote the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights, they wrote it in a way so the average farmer with his educational level could understand what the fuck it meant. Okay, they never wrote the Constitution thinking that you'd need 8 years of college to understand the Constitution. But we call them people politicians. China's military does not winter train in Canada. Does winter train in Canada. It wasn't surprised me if are close to the border now. They do their winter training in Canada? I didn't know that. That'd be a good place to do it. God knows. I went through cold weather training in the Marine Corps. I wouldn't want to fight no war during the winter time. So much extra gear. It's just everything weighs you down. It's hard on both sides, but you know, to fight a war in the wintertime, you got to be extremely in shape. It sucks. Okay, lived out in the trees for 8 weeks. Believe me, Biden absolutely. Stephen, he just missed it. It's easier to see the names light up in blue. I'm going to quote you. Hold on. Hold up. Okay, yes. Trudeau is very friendly with China. Well, why would any country want to be friends with the United States? I mean, you piss off the United States, all of a sudden you got an armada out along your coast. Right? What leader in their right mind would trust the United States? I wouldn't. I mean, we're on a course of acting like the big bully on the elementary parking lot. And now we're bombing Nigeria. We were such a big thing together. Yes. Yeah, I think that question you asked last time, I think that is the one that got deleted by Google. See, Google comes in here every once in a while because they got to watch what I'm doing. Even though I can't get nobody else to watch, still got the FBI and the Google in here watching me, which I feel privileged, okay? But they deleted your question. That's where it went to. So anyway, you got to be careful what you say, okay? Because the algorithm may think you're a bot. I mean, like when I talk about getting our country back and having 4 million vets from the well-regulated militia do training exercises and become a unit outside of DC, I get, oh, you're an FBI plant, you're this, that. And I get people that tell me I'm AI. Are you kidding me? Anybody can look at me and think I'm AI? They obviously don't watch my content. But I'm not an FBI shill either. The FBI shouldn't even exist. Either should the CIA or a lot of these three-letter agencies like the IRS, ATF, you name it. Like I say, the ATF. We got a three-letter agency that regulates our Second Amendment rights. Yeah, Audrey, that's my idea. People tell me, oh, that's revolutionary. No, it's patriotic. It's patriotic to want to take your country back. Like I say, that would give DC, like I say, 4 million vets got together, organized before that, got together, and we did training around DC. Not causing any problems. You know, the engineering, the battalions, what could they be doing? They could be sitting there helping citizens of this country out, even mow their lawn if they had to. Anything to do with training and becoming a unit, okay? We did that for 2 weeks, 4 million men. The military couldn't touch us because it's not big enough. The cops could just sit there and wish they could do something and realize they're nothing but a bunch of untrained pussies. And I'll say that, you cops are nothing but untrained pussies. See, I was trained to take 10 guys on at one time if I had to, by myself. You fuckers can't come unless it's 10 against 1. You're all armed to the T with somebody that doesn't have a gun, and they still get shot down because you feel it's a threat. You know, you cops, did you ever think that the suspect should be allowed to live too? Anyway, how many cops plant weapons on people, plant drugs on people? Oh, that's right, you're a cop, you got a halo over your head. You're a billionaire. How many billionaires are in prison anywhere in the world? Oh, that would be fucking zero. How many billionaires we got in the world? A lot of them. So you tell me once you get so much money, you just get this halo over your head. I got wings on my back. I'm an angel now. Shows you right there that there is a caste system in this world, and a two-tiered justice system, definitely. Anyway, I've been going for 40 minutes already. Ain't that the truth? Yep. You know, that's one thing about my channel. I want to bring people together. All right? People that want to get along and don't care about your political differences or any difference. We all belong to the human fucking race. And there's good humans and there's evil humans. And all us good humans need to get together, which are a lot more of us, and stomp out this frickin' evil. But for some reason, people are too complacent in their lives. You know, that's why complacency is not a good thing for me. And I've never been where, I'm going to sit there and live like this for the next 30 years. You know, maybe I get bored of things too fast or whatever. But, you know, I'm always looking for the next adventure. You know, if you like my content, please hit the thumbs up, the subscribe, and the bell notification. Anything to help the channel grow. Because, you know, as you can see, YouTube's not too friendly with my channel. I tell you what, my live streams used to be thousands of people. Thousands. Hundreds of watch time hours. None of that no more. Thanks for adding to the chat. In 300 seconds, leave another dumb comment. Way to go, security. Way to go, Sonny. Like I said, what? Dealing with, see, out here where I live, we don't deal with people like that. I'm not in the big city. These people on every street corner. Well, thank you for the super chat. EU had to rearm itself. Thanks to push us to do it. But still, doing it in this way, flirting with Putin and pleasing him, humiliating outside threat in Greenland. Yeah, what was the whole thing behind Greenland? Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Yeah, and then Trump sits there, but before Christmas, and talks about how he's selling weapons to Europe for full price. We're getting full price for the weapons, and they're selling them to Ukraine. So Europe's just becoming the middleman. I'm so tired of our president being the biggest arms deal in the world. It's Christmas time, for crying out loud. This is why Christmas don't feel like Christmas no more. I mean, we didn't even take off time from bombing another country on Christmas. And you can't really find anything about it. They say they bombed terrorists. Like you say, Nigeria. Anyway, so we're just kill Nigerians. I guess if we accidentally blow up an apartment building, we'll just give the family some money and it'll make everything better, right? God bless you, Tom. Thank you. Please let's speak about Greenland. Well, I don't know what to say about Greenland, but you know why he wants Greenland? Because it's like the same way with the Aleutians. It's strategic. It's for missile defense. Remember, they said that the North Pole and stuff would be the next area that borders are drawn. Russia's going to have its part. The United States is going to have its part. We're all going to claim a part of the North Pole. And Greenland is just very strategically located for the missile defense, okay? It's just a very important step in the U.S., its long-term strategic plans on defending our country. Remember, he's talking about this Golden Dome? Greenland infrastructure, what we need for that, would be part of that. You know, they don't care about Greenland. Like I say, why do you think we're going to war with all these mineral-rich countries that are third-world countries? Because we're securing the supplies we're going to need. The logistics, okay? That's what they're getting, the logistics. Everything, the infrastructure set up for this World War III in Greenland is part of this Golden Dome thing, I guarantee it. But we're not going to hear the truth. Anyway, Greenland controls the Arctic and has full resources. Have a lot of resources. Yeah, but it's going to be the next war zone between Russia and the United States. Russia's trying to sit there and push its way in there and stuff. It's just, why can't we all get along? Why is it so important to these megalomaniac dictators and leaders of the country to sit there and own more parts of the globe? But obviously, there must be on all the untapped resources at the North Pole. I'm sure there's lots of oil there and stuff. But you name it. But it's strategic. That's why he wants Greenland. Strategic for America's defense. And I think it's silly talk. I would hope that if America would decide to invade Greenland, you never know in today's world what's tomorrow going to bring. Maybe you have ISIS in Greenland that he's going to want to take care of. Let's work together. Don't do it. Yeah, why? Like you say, we got evil people in charge. We got people in charge that want to rule the world. And this is why you have world wars. And the thing is, they're just arming to the teeth. The military-industrial complex got over $1 trillion this year. They're just hammering shit out. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, let's not forget, Trump's going to get the Nobel Peace Prize too, right? God, that's just sick. Absolutely retarded talk. Oh, that was 11.99 euros. I didn't even see that. Well, I appreciate all of it. And this and that thing with all you people in other countries. I am so sorry that you guys got to worry about what they're doing in Washington in your country. I'm sick of it. Because you know what? I can't get Americans to sit there and want to do anything about it. They've become so complacent to McDonald's and Walmart's and their fucking cell phones that they forgot what freedom is. I know the rest of the world's looking at us Americans. You got the Second Amendment, you dumbasses. You got the Declaration of Independence. When are you going to take your country back so we can have world peace again? I know. I'm on YouTube saying it. People tell me I need to calm down. It's bad enough our government affects our lives. We're here from the government. We're here to help. Okay? And you get to hear from another country. We're here from the U.S. We're here to help. We just destroyed your neighbor country, and now we're here to help you. This Marine has had enough. And then in England, what they're dealing with. Like I say, when one domino falls in the West, France, Germany, England, us, Canada, some other small country, when this movement starts, because like I say, I'm not just talking to Americans that feel this way. I'm talking to people all over the world that feel this way, that are happy being a Frenchman or a German or from Greenland or from England. But they want to be living in English culture or an American culture. They're sick of this shit. They're sick of the invaders. But when it starts and we start taking our countries back, it's just going to be a domino effect. And the whole West is going to be enveloped in, countries there's going to be, it's almost like it's going to be not just civil wars in the specific country, but the whole West is going to be at war with itself, a whole civil war with itself. Good against evil. Because you're dealing with evil in your country, we're dealing with the same fucking evil in our country. Not only organize our 4 million man, well-regulated militia in this country, but, all over the globe. There's no reason why free people should have to live like this. There's no reason why another human being should have to live like this. But if you choose you want to be a slave to somebody, that's up to you. I'm not going to stop you. It's freedom of choice, buddy. God gave you freedom of choice to live your life the way you want. You want to live as a slave? More power to you. If you want to live it like me, free, more power to us, okay? But in this country, you know, you're not allowed to make anybody a slave. Merry Christmas, Tom and chat. Appreciate you being here. We most certainly. I'm sorry, I'm losing this. Trump is great. Vance 2028. You know, when Vance, they first won the presidency. I was an NCO in the Marine Corps, ground side. And then I went to the air wing, but I was an NCO in the Marine Corps. Okay, and I had respect for Vance because he started his adult life in those little yellow footprints just like I did. And got out of the Marine Corps, NCO, he was a corporal, I was a sergeant. But he was an NCO. And I had a lot of respect for the man, and I, was hot for Vance in 2028. But he may have seen too much of Washington, D.C., and he's way too much for AI. Okay? And I don't believe Hindu holidays should be celebrated in the White House. While you're doing that, why don't you just fly the pride flag as you're doing it? No, I'll take that back. Why don't you just fly the country of the flag, that holiday you're celebrating at the White House? I'm so sick and tired of being sold out by our politicians. The Second Amendment is our most important amendment, and it shall not be infringed, never. You know what the Second Amendment is? The Second Amendment's a miracle, a gift from God. Everybody always asks for that miracle from God. It was the Second Amendment. The only thing, God ain't going to come down here and start pulling the triggers. That's up to us. He may bring you to the door of opportunity through your path, but you still got to open it, walk through it, and perform the task, what it takes to get to the next door of advancement. Okay? Tucker Carlson said that this country is on two paths, a path of totalitarianism or a path to revolution. And I completely disagree with him on that. I used to, but no, that's not it. We're on the path of totalitarianism, okay? The revolution is the roadblock in the way that they have to get through, okay? That's us blocking them. They got to get through the roadblock. Those patriots, us that just aren't going to buckle for shit, okay? Now we either stop them and shut down that road and shut down the tyranny and continue down the path of a future America that is more like our founding fathers had envisioned, okay? Or we're not. But it's not two paths, buddy. It's one path. It's just we're the roadblock. I don't know how far down this path we got to go before that roadblock is established, but it's coming. Because there are millions of people in this country that will not, without a doubt, submit to government tyranny or anybody's tyranny at all. Howdy, Audrey. Anyway, so crazy times, folks, crazy times. I want our fucking country back. I want Christmas back. I don't want a president that bombs another third world country that has no threat to us on Christmas. A president who brags about arms deals days before Christmas. Peace on earth, goodwill towards men. We can never have peace on earth because we'll never have goodwill towards men. So you got to remember, too, the politicians, they know these people, they hate these, whatever the situation is. They hate these people they want to go to war with. They got to convince us to hate them. You realize that, right? With their propaganda and stuff, the people they hate, they got to convince us to hate. And this is the only reason why we're not at war with Venezuela, because only 20% of the population is behind it. So since he just had to shoot off some, had to bomb something, we went after Nigeria. On Christmas. That doesn't sound like Santa Claus delivering great presents. Anyway, this whole thing's FUBAR, people. This whole thing's FUBAR. And maybe this year will be the year that Americans finally have had enough and invoke the Declaration of Independence. Like I say, we had a training, 4 million man, well-regulated veteran militia around DC just training to become an army. Would that not give a message to DC? And with the other men we had left over, they can sit there and do exercise, because we don't want to have everybody in one place. Maybe, I don't know, 25% of our force and the other 12 million doing the same exercises in all 50 states. That's our right to do that. Okay? We need to do something to put the fear of God in our country, in our government, because our government doesn't fear us. When the government fears us, it how do I say that? Just if the government fears us, that is what makes the people, helps the people. If the people fear the government does what it wants at the expense of the people. All the fear that you have for the government right now, that government is supposed to have for you. So when our politicians decide to get it together and do something absolutely stupid, they know they got at least 60 million people that will sit there and pick up the Second Amendment and say, fuck this shit. But no, everybody like me, I need to keep quiet. U.S. is just as Alaska. Okay, you are not dominant in the Arctic. You need to work with the allies to be dominant. Just with us. No allies means no dollar system. The thing is, what the hell are we doing there? I mean, we didn't got enough resources around us. I mean, we shut down the Keystone Pipeline because we didn't want Canada's oil. Like I say, I'm an American. You can start calling me an isolationist, but I'm sick of our American influence being all over the globe. I'm sick of if two nations go to war with each other. We got to pick a side of it, and then we got to sit there and support one side. I'm sick of that shit. Okay? I'm sick of people coming to this country that want to still remain their African American or their Somalian American traditions and not become Americans. I'm tired of it. Well, the Americans, our living standards keep going down and down and down. I'm tired of it. I want our country back. I got kids and grandkids. Why the hell, if you're my age and you got grandkids and children, that, especially your children that are working harder than you are to raise their families, why would you want that to progress? Instead of helping our children out, but we need to do it another way. We need to take our country back so our children have a future where they're going to prosper and become, baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet. You know what I'm talking about? Baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet. God, it's been a long time since I heard that. Anyway, yep. We need to have people in America that want to be Americans. We need to have people that want to come here and assimilate to our culture. If you don't like the way America is, then why the hell are you coming here? Oh, that's right. So you can turn your area into Dearborn, Michigan, or you could take over a whole state like Minnesota. We're being conquered, people. I'm so sick of these liberals, I can't see it. Trump needs to be impeached because he's enforcing the law with immigration. That's his fucking job. That's the federal government's job. Okay? If you're not doing that and allowing illegals in, you should be charged with dereliction of duty for sure. We need America again. In America. We don't need America in England or in Russia or in Greenland or anywhere. We need America in America and keep it fucking here. Because some people in this world just don't like freedom like we do. Okay? They're not used to it. Okay? You're going to shock their system if you try it. But let people live the way they want to live. And we come back and we live the way we want to live. I mean, the first thing, if I was president, the CIA, the FBI, I'd clean up my cabinet, ATF, all those guys, and all our military bases, except maybe a couple ports that not our military base, but we'd be friends with countries so we could bring our ships in there. But all our military come fuck home. Okay? Just think of all the infrastructure work we could get done with our military. Boy, it'd give the combat engineers one hell of a training session, wouldn't it? All of it. And this would be the message. Hey, we're out of the world's problems. If the world decides to bring its problems to the United States, then we'll take care of it and we'll come back and go home, bomb the shit out of your country and leave, not give you a fucking dime. And then come back to America and protect our borders. We don't need to be the police force of the nation, of the world. I'm agreeing with you. Well, it's Scooby Fish 2621. This is the thing. I don't expect you all to agree with me on everything. I'm just a Marine that's had enough, and I want my country back. I'm sick of seeing people in this country suffer. I live at the Beaverland. Okay? Actually, don't have to lock my doors, take my keys out of my vehicle. We don't have crime where we're at. And I got to watch all this shit that other Americans are going through. And I want to do something about it to help you guys out. Or I could just sit back here, enjoy the beautiful winter weather we're having, and ride a horse every day and just enjoy the shit out of myself and become a selfish son of a bitch. Hey, as long as it's not affecting me yet, I don't care. But you know what? As a Marine, I didn't have that attitude. Oh my gosh, I've been over an hour. I got to sit there and go over to a buddy's house tonight. We're going to sit there and play. We play Tiger Woods 2013 on the PlayStation 3. Since I can't watch sports no more because they're so fucked up. Like I say, I really miss my Sunday afternoons watching football, but I can't watch the NFL. And I walked in on a game once and they were doing the kickoff. I don't even know where to start with that. Okay, and then being a Minnesota fan, and they got those flaming homosexual cheerleaders. Maybe they should. Minnesota's doing so bad. Maybe they need to put those homosexual cheerleaders on the football field, and maybe they can sit there and catch some passes. They like holding balls. Anyway, crazy time, people. Crazy time. Anyway, if you like the content, please hit the thumbs up, the subscribe, and the bell notification. Anything to help the channel grow. Like I say, I got YouTube is really interesting. As EU citizen, I don't want to move to America. I don't care how you manage immigration. I don't want you to be the police of the world. I just thought we were allies. You turned your... I didn't. Don't be mad at the American people about this. Because we just won't fucking do nothing about it. That's what pisses me off. But the average American's like you. He works, comes home, takes care of his family, deals with this fucking bullshit every day. And I don't understand why they'd rather just sit there and bitch the rest of their lives and do something about it. I mean, we're eventually going to have to fight for freedom in our own country again. And that's what Kaiman. But I'm not your enemy. I didn't do this to you. Like, he didn't talk nothing about Greenland when he was in the campaign because everybody would have thought he was retarded. Americans are not happy right now, but for some reason, they just don't want to. Like I say, the founding fathers gave us the Second Amendment, but they can't give us the will to use it. I'm doing my part. Go back and watch some of my other content. Tired of other people in other countries having to deal with the fucking United States. You know, oh, we bombed your house by mistake and killed your family while you were at work. Here's some money. That's the United States of America. Here, let me give you some worthless green pieces of paper. But there's an America out here that you don't see on the news. Like I say, you want to see some of America? Check some of my shorts out. You'll see an America that is still Leave It to Beaverland. Still crime-free. We don't deal with the problems that seems like the average American deals with anymore, has to deal with these days. Check them out. But see, the thing out here, everybody here is on the same page. It doesn't matter what your political affiliation is. You come in here and try to start a problem, you're going to be escorted the fuck out. What happened? Whatever you from and you're a self-hater, oh my God, just leave peace. We need a transition phase. You flirt with Putin after telling us we got... Well, you saw me on the news with Putin? You see me standing next to Trump shaking my head? Yeah, that's a great idea. You know, overthrowing the most powerful government and military in the world isn't going to be an easy thing. Isn't going to be something that's not done without planning. It's going to take time. Okay? So suffer like the rest of us. You don't have to worry about Greenland being invaded. That's never going to fucking happen. Never. So, but we need to worry about taking our country back. Trump, not all of you. I knew I was not you. Trump, not all of you. Just the thing is, don't group us all together. I'm a constitutional, conservative, patriotic Marine. Okay? I took an oath to defend the Constitution, and the American people was added into that, not the United States government. Okay? And I'm not going to, you know, the United States is definitely going down a bad road. I know that. And us Americans need to take care of the problem. That's why I'm on YouTube. And hopefully one day I can be on YouTube saying, guess what? I get to retire now. We took care of the problem. Okay? But I can't. Message deleted. Okay? Anyway. But yeah, I'm sorry you have to deal with the U.S. We have to deal with the U.S. government too. It's just I realize it's our responsibility to smack them the fuck down. We shouldn't have to have nuclear missiles from Russia or China landing on D.C. to take care of the American citizens' problem. Okay? We should be able to go to D.C. and take care of that ourselves. Who is the problem? Stevie Wonder? Well, I know Stevie Wonder couldn't see, but he played one hell of a mean piano. But, you know, if you can't see who the enemy is, if you're believing that your neighbor's your enemy, while you're listening to your politicians destroy your life and your country, well, you know, if you can't see who the enemy is, like you say, it's not Nigeria. It's not Venezuela. It's not Iran. It's not even China. Hell, where would our country be these days without China? Anyway, I got to get rolling, people. I got plans for tonight. I appreciate everybody being here. Like I say, if you like the content, please hit the subscribe, the thumbs up, and the bell notification. Anything to help channel out. And it's been an interesting chat. Appreciate my moderators being here. And, sorry I upset people, but you know what? Don't you feel like you're just a little upset? And I like sharing that feeling with other ones that are being assholes. Anyway, yeah, crazy times, people, crazy times. And how it's looking, we've been helping Taiwan with about a lot of piece of the puzzle are falling into place. This thing, we're not going to be able to defend Taiwan, okay? There's no way, okay? Because China's got, their military's bigger, they got more ships, and they're right there. You're talking with us thousands of miles of supply line. It's never going to happen. Okay, the military-industrial complex is just making money. But like China said, they can take Taiwan anytime they want, and they consider it their property. Okay, the U.S. cannot defend Taiwan. It can't. Unless we decide to nuke Russia or China, and obviously that won't end up in defending Taiwan. Because the first island that's going to be wiped out by China will be Taiwan then. Anyway. Everybody have a good night. I need to get out of here. And I appreciate everybody being here at this live stream. And we'll see what the live stream is going to be about tomorrow, because you never know. Silver may hit $100 an ounce tomorrow. Because when the credit markets freeze up, that's going to be one heck of a live stream. Anyway, this is Tom with Hidden Truth. Have fun playing Tiger Woods, Tom. Yep, I am. I tell you what. We play. We got it to where we're no cheat mode, not even the grid square on the greens, no swing meter, nothing. No making the fake spin on the ball, pure everything. And I tell you what, it's fun. It's fun. I always like getting better at things. Anyway, yes, I will have fun. I appreciate the comment. Anyway, everybody have a great night. This is Tom with Hidden Truths. I'm out of here.